Hello everyone, welcome to Lukman IAS. As you know, in this series we are analyzing the previous year questions of UPSC prelims examination, and today we are going to have the session 23rd on science and technology. So let us quickly see the topics that we are going to understand for the day. Okay, so today we are going to analyze these topics one by one through questions. We are going to analyze a topic related to government scheme. Then we are going to analyze a topic related to virus and diseases. Then we are going to look into a topic related to health and nutrition. Then we are going to see a question related to diseases. And then we are going to understand about forces of nature. And this topic is relevant from physics portion. Okay. So these topics are covered by the UPSC under this particular subheading of the syllabus that says general science. Okay. So now let us take the first question for the day. Okay. So this is the first question today. Okay. So this question was asked by UPSC in the year of 2016. Let us read this question. This question reads, Mission Indradhanush launched by Government of India pertains to. Okay. So here the government, this particular question is about a government scheme which is known as Mission Indradhanush. And now they are asking like which of the following are related to Mission Indradhanush. Okay. So the first option says immunization of children and pregnant women. Okay. And correct answer for this question is option A itself. Okay. This is option D. The last one is option D. Okay. So option A is the right answer for the day, which is immunization of children and pregnant women. Let us discuss what is Mission Indradhanush. See, Mission Indradhanush is a immunization program to immunize the mother and the newborn babies. Okay. Why we are immunizing the lady and the newborn babies? It is because we want to immunize them. Okay. We are vaccinating them to immunize against 7 vaccine preventable diseases. What are those vaccine preventable diseases? We are going to understand them. And apart from this, let us understand that this particular Mission Indradhanush is launched by Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India. It was launched by this particular ministry on 25th of December, 2014. It was launched by this ministry in 25th of December 2014. And the word Indradhanush, this depicts 7 colors of the rainbow. So this particular vaccination program is for the purpose of immunization of children and pregnant or the lactating mother against 7 vaccine preventable diseases. What are those vaccine preventable diseases? Let us understand them. So one of the vaccine preventable diseases is diphtheria. Diphtheria. Then second one is known as whooping cough. Whooping cough. Then third vaccine preventable disease is tetanus. Then we have polio. Then fifth is tuberculosis. I am writing TB for the purpose. Then next is measles. And the 7th vaccine preventable disease is hepatitis B. So these are the 7 vaccine preventable diseases that are being targeted using this particular mission, which is Mission Indradhanush. They have launched this mission in the year of 2014, and the aim of the scheme is to eliminate these diseases by the year of 2020. However, it has not yet been achieved, but this particular mission is still working. So that's why correct answer for this question is option A. So having understood this, now let us take another question for the day. This question was asked by UPSC in the year of 2017. It was asked in 2017. Let us read this question. consider the following statements. In tropical regions, Zika virus disease is transmitted by the same mosquito that transmits dengue. Okay, so here the statement 1 has reference to two diseases. One of the diseases Zika virus and second disease is dengue. And now they are saying that Zika virus is transmitted by the same mosquito as is transmitted by dengue. Okay, and they are referring to tropical regions. You might be knowing that in India we have a huge number of cases of dengue, and like Zika virus is was reported in the continent of Africa, especially in Uganda. Okay, so here we need to understand both these diseases are similar in nature. Okay, and this Zika virus in scientific terms is known as flavivirus. Okay, it is a flavivirus, and it was for the first time discovered in monkeys in 1947. Okay, in 1947 it was discovered in monkeys, and in 1952 the first reported human case for Zika virus was seen in Uganda. Okay, where? In Uganda. And after then this Zika virus and dengue virus are similar in two respects. One of the respect is the type of symptoms that people develop, okay, like high fever, headache and all these things. Okay, and the transmission mode is also similar for Zika virus as well as dengue, and they are transmitted by two different kinds of mosquitoes. One of the mosquito is known as Aedes aegypti. Okay, one is Aedes aegypti, then another one is known as Aedes albopictus. Okay, Aedes. Okay, Aedes. This is albopictus. Okay, these are two types of mosquitoes that are transmitting these viruses, Zika virus as well as dengue virus. Okay, and like let us now read the second statement. So first statement is correct for this question. Let us read the second statement. It says sexual transmission of Zika virus disease is possible. Yes, this is very much possible, and the Zika virus can be transmitted via different modes. One of the mode is mosquito bites that we have discussed now. Then we have blood transfusion. If an infected person's blood is transferred or transfused to another person, then there is a chance that Zika virus will be transmitted. Okay, and apart from this, sexual transmission is also possible. So both these statements are correct. Hence, correct answer for this question is option C. Okay, so option C is the right answer for this question. Okay, this is option C. Now let us take another question for the day. This question was asked by UPSC in the year of 2011. Okay, this was asked in 2011. Let us read this question. It says regular intake of fresh fruits and vegetables is recommended in the diet since they are a good source of antioxidants. Okay, how do antioxidants help a person maintain health and protect longevity? Okay, so here we need to understand why people are eating so much fresh fruit. Okay, why it is recommended by doctors as well. People are eating different varieties of fresh fruits. One of the main purpose of these fresh fruits is because these fresh fruits are rich in antioxidants. Okay, and why they are helpful for us? They are helpful because they neutralize the free radicals produced in the body during the metabolism. Okay, so when we eat food, okay, these food are digested during the process of digestion. Okay, and during the metabolic processes, free radicals are released by the body, and these free radicals are harmful in nature because like they cause different kind of diseases in human body. Okay, so these antioxidants are the ones that actually neutralize the free radicals that are produced during metabolism of the body. Okay, so correct answer for this question is option C. Okay, so having understood this, now let us take another question for the day. Okay, this question was asked by UPSC in the year of 2014. Okay, 2014. So let us read this question. Consider the following diseases, okay? Diphtheria, chicken pox, smallpox. Which of the above diseases has or have been eradicated in India? Eradicated means now there is no cases or no incidence of reporting of this particular disease, okay? Here we need to understand that we have just read about Mission Indradhanush. There we have talked that like Mission Indradhanush was, effective against 7 vaccine preventable diseases. One of the disease was diphtheria. So diphtheria is still being reported in India. So this particular thing is not yet eradicated in India, okay? If we talk about chicken pox is a very common disease, okay, that happens to people at least once in a life, okay? So this is also very much found. So 1 and 2 can be eliminated wherever we see, okay, this can be eliminated. But smallpox, okay, smallpox was eradicated from India in the year of 1977 itself, okay. So there was a last, report of natural occurrence of smallpox in the year of 1977, and since then we did not find any incidence of smallpox in India, okay. So that's why diphtheria and chickenpox are incorrect, because they still occur in people, okay. People are still affected by these two diseases, but smallpox has been eradicated from India, okay. So that's why correct answer for this question is option B, okay. Option B is the right answer for this question. So having understood this, let us take the next question for the day. This question was asked by UPSC in the year of 2013. Let us read this question. It says, the known forces of nature can be divided into 4 classes, okay. Known forces of nature can be divided into 4 classes. What are they? Gravity, electromagnetism, weak nuclear force and strong nuclear force. With reference to them, which one of the following statement is not correct, okay. Here in this question they have given us, about 4 types of forces that are found in nature. One of the force that they mentioned is about gravitational force, okay. Second is electromagnetic force, third is weak nuclear force, and fourth is strong nuclear force, okay. Now they are asking which of the following statements is not correct, okay. So you might be knowing that gravitational force is the force of attraction that acts between every 2 body in the universe, okay. So every body that has a mass, okay, so these bodies are attracted by one another with a force, okay. That force can be given as G m1 m2 upon r square, okay. So this is the formula that was given by Newton, okay. So this is gravitational force, or we can so here this G means gravitational force. This is small g is 9.8 meter per second square, okay. This is acceleration due to gravity, and this is mass of body 1, mass of body 2, and this is distance between the centers of these 2 bodies. Centers means center of gravity, okay. So this is the formula. So this particular force is, okay, this is known as gravitational force, okay. Apart from this, if we talk about electromagnetic force, okay, electromagnetic force, which is also known as EMF, okay, in short it is known as EMF. Electromagnetic force acts between every 2 body, okay. EMF, or we can simply write down it to be an F, okay. It acts between every 2 charged body. The electromagnetic force can be, attractive in nature, it can be repulsive in nature, but gravitational force is always attractive in nature. Means gravitational force attracts the bodies towards each other, but electromagnetic force can be attractive as well as repulsive, okay. So this electromagnetic force is given by K Q1 into Q2 upon R square, okay. K is the constant of this particular equation. Q1 is the charge of, first charged particle, Q2 is the charge of the second charged particle, and R is the distance between these 2 particles, okay. And if we talk about weak nuclear force and strong nuclear force, so these are nuclear forces that are acting at a subatomic level, okay. So these forces actually, work at subatomic level. Now having understood this, now let us see these statements. One of the statements says, first statement, gravity is the strongest of the four. This is incorrect, okay? The thing is, gravity is the weakest force among all these force, okay? So this is not the strongest, this is the weakest, okay? This is the weakest among all these force, okay? So correct answer for this question is option A, because here we have to find out the incorrect ones, okay? If we read the second statement, it says electromagnetism acts only on particles with an electric charge. Definitely, okay? Here I have given an equation also, okay? So electromagnetic force acts only when there are charged particles, okay? Weak nuclear force causes radioactivity. This is correct. Strong nuclear forces holds protons and neutrons inside the nucleus of an atom. This is also correct. So correct answer for this question is option A, because we had to find out the incorrect statement, okay? So that's why correct answer for this question is option A. Okay, so with this we have come to an end of today's discussion. That's all that I had to discuss with you for the day. Thank you so much everyone for attending this session. I hope you have a good day ahead. Thank you. Contact us to avail the combo offer of General Studies and Public Administration optional with 20% discount.